Hello, I'm Josh from the Envision Vlog, and welcome to a new episode of Josh with the Envision Vlog presents Josh with the Envision Vlog's Fun with Flags. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Josh with the Envision Vlog, back with another video today. And if you couldn't tell by that Big Bang Theory Sheldon Cooper-esque intro, today we are going to be talking about flags, in particular, the Disability Pride flag. As you guys probably know, today is the last day of Disability Pride Month, and I wanted to have like maybe another video or maybe a couple of videos come out on the last day just to kind of wrap up the month and everything and kind of go through my initial thoughts about Disability Pride Month, you know, my previous video that I did a while back. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and jump into the topic of today's video, which is the Disability Pride flag. So the flag itself is just a black background with 5 colors running down in a zigzag lightning bolt formation. Now, I was actually reading up on this in an article that was released by the American Foundation for the Blind that goes into a lot of depth regarding the symbolism of this flag. And to me, I think whoever designed it and took the symbolic elements of it did extremely well because there is a lot of symbolism within this flag. Starting with the black background, the flag is on a black background because it is meant to symbolize some of the darker times or darker things that people with disabilities have faced. And in some cases, in the more extreme examples, ableist violence. And so what you're seeing is you've got this black background symbolizing this darkness and then these colors in the forefront that are really the focal point of the flag. But that black background definitely represents the dark times or the dark things or the not so wonderful things that people with disabilities have experienced. And in the article, it actually states that the black background also represents rebellion and protest as well. But moving on to the focal point of the flag, which is the colorful lightning bolt pattern that runs down diagonally through the center of the flag. The symbolism behind the design of this portion of the flag, in my opinion, is some of the deepest in terms of design and the representation of what it means. So the zigzag pattern is actually a representation for how people with disabilities maneuver around barriers in everyday life. And I was like, all right, I get it. Makes total sense because, you know, I've been there. And to give you a very small minor example of the zigzagging, so to speak, you know, let's say that, you know, I get out some frozen vegetables out of the freezer and then, you know, I want to put them in the microwave or cook them, but I need to see the directions. Normal people, let me just see the directions. Okay, I know what I do. But me, I can't just go straight to it and do it. I gotta zigzag and do my thing. So I pull out the phone, I open up the magnifier, I take a picture of it, I blow it up, I figure it out. I'm still getting around that barrier, but I gotta zigzag. Hey, I didn't call this fun with flags with no reason. I gotta have fun here, y'all. And as you can see with the zigzag pattern, there are 5 lines that are each different colors. And each of these different colors corresponds and represents some part of the disability community. We have the 5 different colors, which are blue, yellow, white, red, and green. And they each correspond to one of the 5 categories. You have intellectual and developmental disabilities. You have physical disabilities. You also have invisible or undiagnosed disabilities, as well as sensory disabilities, and our 5th category, mental illness. Now, what I really like about these categories is that, no matter what kind of disability you have, I feel that anybody with any type of disability is included under this banner. Even someone like me who is comorbid can fit under this disability pride flag in multiple categories. So for example, with my vision and my hearing, obviously that is more of a physical disability. Now my hearing is something that most people can probably see because obviously I wear a hearing aid. It doesn't always come out looking that way, but it is there. But then you also have the idea, for example, of my vision, which most people do not see. And that is often considered an invisible disability until I tell someone, and then they start recognizing, my patterns of behavior, my mannerisms, all that good stuff. And then they start, putting two and two together and it starts making sense. So to wrap things up overall, I think that in terms of design language, the overall design of the flag, I think it is a great piece of work. I think it is extremely marketable and it's great. In terms of its symbolism, I think that it is, really solid. One of the biggest things that I really like about this flag is that it is so inclusive of all disabilities. Because when you really think about it, most of the time, the only symbol that people with disabilities ever got for being people with disabilities is this. A guy in a wheelchair. How is a guy in a wheelchair supposed to represent deaf people? How is a guy in a wheelchair supposed to represent, people with visual impairments or mental illness? How's a guy in a wheelchair supposed to represent people who have invisible disabilities when the picture of the person is a person without an invisible disability? So in terms of marketability, in terms of design, in terms of the symbolism, I think it is an extremely solid representation and a great banner for people of the disabled community. Now that is going to do it for the video today. As always, please give this video a big thumbs up to please the algorithm. And of course, subscribe to my channel to see more content. This is Josh with the Envision Vlog, signing off.